to a new weekly vlog. As you may see, this video will be in English, so from now on I will try to do my best and film in English by your requests, which I completely understand, because it's a very logical thing to do, as my other platforms are all in English. It was just always really hard and challenging to start, because I think my English is not very good, not good enough for YouTube, and I'm a perfectionist and I'm working on it. So I thought I need to overcome this fear and just film, otherwise I will keep postponing. Maybe sometimes I will still post some videos in Russian here, as it feels better or more comfortable at that exact moment, but you'll always have subtitles and auto dubbing as usual. I want to start with a little bit of a better introduction to 2026, as I'm sitting here and I'm looking at my physical mood board that I did this week. This is something I wanted to do this year alongside with my usual Pinterest mood board, which I always love to put on my phone or my laptop. However, this time I felt like it was too easy to create on Pinterest. And like always, Pinterest is giving you this endless flow of images and statements that continue to pop up, and I just felt like it was not coming from me, not from my head, not from my mind. It's just the platform which is trying to recommend or sell me different things, which is sometimes really amazing for another purpose, so don't get me wrong. And I just felt like it's not giving for this exact mission. Like I said, it's not coming from me, it's not coming from my mind, and it was really hard to concentrate on things that I wanted to highlight for myself. So that is why I decided to do a little bit different manifesting this year, and as a part where I can be creative, emotional, a bit delulu, I went for a handmade collage. I think it's better than Pinterest. It's a little bit more creative, just something to get off your phone, and it's really good for your mental health. I'll definitely do it with my girls next year, but this time I was alone and it was not bad. As you may know, I was sick. I'm still sick, and it's the end of January anyway, so I thought now or never. And as the second part, which I did on another day, was to sit and to be truthful with myself and think about who I want to be in 2026. Writing that down in free form, answering some questions. And the most important thing here is that this is coming from you, from your head, and from analyzing your life. Because like I said, on Pinterest there is always this endless flow of images and dreams and things like that, but like in other spheres of our lives, we need to prioritize and concentrate on things that are important for us in this exact moment, depending on our life circumstances, our opportunities, our dreams. This is very important thing, to sit and to think and to analyze in calmness what you want for yourself in 2026. And I thought it may be inspiring for you as well. So if you want to do this, I'd really recommend to put on some manifestation, journaling, music, and just have it on in the background. You could do this with a cup of tea or coffee on a Sunday morning, or maybe with a glass of champagne in the evening or in bed. It's up to you. I will share with you a couple of questions that you could be answering yourself. So the first one is, who do I want to show up as for 2026? And that can be personal, so that can be how you want to show up for yourself, for your friends, for your family, for your partner, how you want to show up at work. For me, with work, being a content creator and providing content for you guys, my audience. This year I really want to show up more me, more real, more authentic, to be inspiring. I want to bring more value over quantity. I just want to share with you how I live my life, how I'm doing simple things, and how I want to be the best version of myself, which I'm still learning how to do that. But I thought it could be quite nice to share with you things that I really love to do. Maybe if you're a content creator as well, you've probably heard this famous statement that you need to stick to one niche if you want to be successful on social media, and that's it, which does work for a lot of people. However, I think I fell out of love with not being true to myself and not sharing what I actually love. Like, I love cooking, but I really held back from sharing it more because I always had this statement in my head that I'm a fashion creator. I need to create more or only fashion content to be successful on social media. That's what I mean by this. Sharing more what I truly love, no matter what other people say. Because it will be me real and it will make me happy. And then I also want to be more real when it comes to my outfits. So sharing actually what I'm wearing instead of thinking it has to be something the most viral and trendiest ever. I just want to be real. I just want to be me in 2026. And I feel like this is my 2026 word. I've also become this very curated person. I need to have more imperfections. I need to try less to be perfect, and I feel like it's getting me nowhere. And I just want to be me. So the next one is imagine her, imagine him. What does your health look like? What's your routine? What do you eat? What do you do? What does the best version of yourself look like when it comes to health? Then I went into career. What does your career look like? How are you doing in your career? Maybe you're a senior director. Maybe you changed your job. Are you thriving where you are? Did you get a pay rise, or maybe you become self-employed? And then love. If you were your best version right now, what does your relationship look like? How do you show up for your partner? How do you show up for your friends and family? I know family can be hard to change. For me, for example, my friends are my family as well. So this part is really about your closest people. One of the things that I wrote down for myself is to be more present, to be more thoughtful, to invest more time. In my personal situation, it simply means to book more FaceTime calls or just have more regular calls because my family lives far away. And then your finances, what do they look like? Maybe you want to have a certain amount of money to be saved. If so, just write down how much you would like to save in 2026. Just set a goal. The next one is, what are your hobbies? Are you educating yourself in something? Maybe reading more? What does your environment look like? And fun. And then, very important one, what current patterns, beliefs, habits or boundaries could not come with me in 2026? So what are the things that didn't serve me? Maybe doom scrolling, or I don't know, smoking, or too much drinking, or self-doubt. To be honest, self-doubt is not allowed to come into 2026. Last year I just had massive self-doubt, and it really ruined my inspiration for creating content. So 2026 is the year of re-believing in myself. In fact, I recently started a book about growing your confidence, or I would say reviving your confidence, which is the best word for my personal situation. I really like it and it really helps, so I will leave it down below. And one of the things that actually came to my mind right now, I mentioned the book and doom scrolling, is getting back into reading. And I thought I'd start buying weekly or monthly magazines, probably monthly magazines because it can be quite expensive, and just sitting on the sofa with a cup of coffee or with a glass of champagne, putting some music and just reading. Even if it's online, just put on do not disturb mode and read it digitally. But I think actually having a magazine in your hands is heavenly, and that is what I did this week after buying some magazines for my collage, which is exactly what we will talk about next. So as I said before, this is the other part of manifesting. In opposite to the thoughtful part with questions, this one is more open, is more creative, based on your feelings and intuition without overthinking. It's just a way of being a little bit more creative, a little bit more fun, getting off your phone. It's really very therapeutic to get your mind thinking about what you want. And as I said before, it should be fun. You can do it with your friends, with your family, or on your own like me. What you need is just a piece of paper, a hard piece of paper at some stationery or art store. I also wanted to buy one, but then I remembered I have these hard papers from my Mango order. And then you need magazines. Ideally lots of magazines, but of course not necessarily. For example, I had nothing because I had thrown all my old magazines in the summer last year. It was very stupid of me, now I understand. So I just went and bought a couple of new magazines. At least have a look diagonally into magazines if you buy new ones, because it can often be just shopping editorials and you need something more. I personally found Glamour very nice because it's very diversified in sections and topics. I can recommend grabbing some free catalogs from your nearest grocery store, like their weekly product catalogs, travel catalogs, just as a backup. I picked a couple from Lidl and they were very helpful. Also recommend just look and see what you have at home. For example, I tried to look in my cupboard where I have documents and things like that, and I found a couple of old flyers, some old stickers, and also a magazine from my health insurance company, which was also very helpful. It was really unexpectedly amazing with pictures, especially about healthy eating and some mental health statements. And so you can try everything you have and just have fun. You never know what you'll find. Of course, you will also need a glue stick and a couple of highlighters. Ideally, you need to imagine your collage as a cross with sections about different things in your life. Honestly, you can do it like you want it, like you feel it, and I did like I wanted. Also depend on how many magazines you have. For example, I just skipped some topics. I relied more on pictures and ideas that I found in the process. I can show you mine because there isn't actually really anything on it. This is not the real deal, but it just gives you an example of what you can do. To begin with, you need to write down your word of the year in the middle. It's the word that summarizes and embodies all your intentions for 2026, like your main strategy. It should be easy if you did the first part with the questions. So I wrote real, more me, more present, and I want to implement this in all spheres of my life. Sticking to this cross plan, we can begin with relationships and connections. I think this is here on my collage. I wrote down the word love, like I said, because I couldn't find it in any magazine, and I wanted to be in big letters. And it's not just romantic love, it's love in general and just for everything I do, because I really think that if you do everything with love, it brings more satisfaction and better results. That's why I added love will fix everything here, along with ideas about self-love. It's in German here, but it's mental health, believing in yourself, to be more open and relaxed. Then I added some self-portrait section, I would say. Here I've put here a picture of Paris, also a flower, a lily, and a style icon. For me, it represents blooming in my style journey to be more chic and more effortless in my style, like Parisian goes. This part is about my health, and health-wise, I think I just want to be in the best shape of my life. Nothing extreme, just healthy, strong, fit, confident. That's why I added healthy eating habits, of course, and also burn your temples, because it refers to movement, to yoga, to relaxation, clearing away your negative thoughts and stay focused on at the same time. I also included like educate myself area and it's mainly focused on reading actually, and I want to read more this year, and in general I want to explore different literature. And for finances and a lifestyle, I think it can be here. Like, I'm not sure because, like I said, I did it just based on feelings. I didn't actually use this cross method, but it turned out to be perfect. So this one, finances and lifestyle, and here I added lounge in luxury, and for me it means living simply, easily, but still feeling elevated. And travel is a big part of that too. I've put here New York City, and also I don't really know where this place is, but Dream Blue Beach somewhere, a typical bucket list destination. And then champagne, because I'd really love to work with a champagne brand this year. I also added here a disco ball and a music player, because I feel like I need to get back into listening to music. This might sound silly, but I haven't really listened to much music in the last couple of years, and I think this is because me and my husband, we shared a Spotify account. But this year I decided that I want to create my own account, which I did, and it feels much more personal, and it just curates my taste and my music recommendations a little bit better, so I'm very excited. And here are two predictions that I got from these fortune cookies. And then I found this picture of three girls running around together in nature. This represents, again, being present, being silly, having fun. Just allow myself to have more silly moments in my life. Also being there for my friends, which I already am, but being even more, being someone my friends can rely on, and just be more grateful for friends and family I have, and just showing them more that I adore them. But when you're doing this activity, just don't overthink it. You already did this with questions and with sitting and thinking and analyzing. So here you are allowed to be completely unrealistic, just be a bit delulu. Imagine how your life could look like. It absolutely doesn't have to be final or perfect. So this is basically what I've been doing to welcome 2026 properly, and I really want to show up for you guys more real, especially here on YouTube and of course on Instagram as well. And besides, I'm sorry for not being present there this week because I was really sick. So that's my little 20-minute ramble on here. I hope you enjoyed it and you felt inspired. Even if the year has already started, it's not too late to do something like this. Honestly, it's very inspiring, very motivating, fulfilling, very self-awarding. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.